Good afternoon, everybody, on this Good Friday. Wishing you a happy Easter. I thought I've just actually finished work. I don't think in all of the 44 years that I've been working for myself, I've ever had a Good Friday off. So today it's quite nice because I've worked this morning, but now I've finished, so I've got bits that I want to do myself and um, kind of like just look after me, really. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. So, what I want to talk about is the week that I've had. There has been things happening this week which I have been quite observant of with many other people, and the experiences that they've been having. We all seem to be having very similar experiences. And a lot of those experiences are being triggered by the acts of other people or their responses of other people. And I just want to explain a little bit about it because what's happened is it's led me to this morning where I have done. I'm looking at it right now because there's quite a few pages of channeling. A lot of this is going to go in my book, but there's specific bits or a bit that I wanted to share with you. Excuse me. But I wanted to explain what brought me to this point. So recently I've had some experiences where I feel I've been tested with regard to relationships, and been trying to sort of get my head round, trying to understand why things have happened the way that they have, and why things have ended up the way that they have. But what I realised was, so this were roundabout, probably I got to Wednesday, and on Tuesday and Wednesday, after going away for the day on Monday, which I absolutely loved, I found my energy kind of falling down. And when we have those times when you feel like that, so your mindset changes, there was things that my egoic mind was bringing up. And I was trying to navigate them, trying to work out why and what they meant. But what it led me to was something that I thought I had put to rest a long, long time ago. And that was experiences that happened in my past relationships. Now, because we're going through this energetic change, it doesn't matter if you're in this field or not. What it means is that we're all going through some kind of clearing. And as much as you think you might have done it all, there's always going to be another layer to deal with. What's happened is that by Wednesday, a friend of mine said to me, "Why don't you journal?" She actually said it to me on Tuesday, but my mindset, my ego mind and where I was at that time didn't want me to. I was very much in victim mode and I was wallowing in my own self-pity. And one of the positive things about me is that I recognise my archetypes and I can say, I'm in victim mode now. A lot of people can't do that. And if you were to say that to them, they'd get very offended by it and think, well, how dare you say that to me, which is actually you being even more in your victim mode. But what I could see was the pattern, the trigger. And I thank the people involved for being that trigger for me, because I needed it. Clearly, I needed it. But what happened was I ended up journaling about my past relationships, and two particular ones. And what it brought to the surface was that I didn't realise that it was those things that were keeping me stuck now and not allowing me to move forward. So there were issues of trust, there were issues of anger, there was issues of betrayal, there was issues of being made to feel that I was the cause of these things. Now, we all have to take responsibility for what we play in these parts, but the responsibility is, acknowledging that you gave permission to someone else to do those things to you, or to act in that way to you. But the main thing that I noticed was that I was still angry. I was angry about the experiences that I'd had since then, that was actually me still fearing any of that stuff happening again. And actually writing about it, and writing about every single detail that happened was upsetting in itself, because it involved me acknowledging how the experiences that I'd had influenced other people in my life as well, and had affected other people in my life. So there were a lot of tears, and all of this was able to get me to a point of forgiving myself. Because I allowed those experiences to keep reminding me of why I need to feel safe, why I need to feel independent, why I need to feel that I'm the one who is always here for me. And that's not to say that we shouldn't think that, but it can become a point where you don't allow anyone else into your periphery, for fear that they might be the same, or that you may be attracting those similar people to you because of where you're at energetically and how you're seeing things. But that was a healing thing for me, and I'm glad I did it. On Thursday, I managed to talk to a friend who gave me the opportunity to actually read everything that I'd written. And yeah, I cried. I cried when I read it back, because some of it I'd obviously buried, and I didn't realise that it had had that I'd been through such a lot of trauma. But what it did was finally released that last latch on the door, and it set me free. Now, because I do channeling, obviously when you're going through those kind of experiences, it always feels like you've been shut down. And it's not that they shut you down, it's just that they step back, because they've now guided you, directed you to a point in your life where there's only you can do that. There's only you can heal that. There's only you can address it and acknowledge it, and send love to it, and forgive it, and move forward from it. So this morning, the last 2 nights, strangely, because yesterday while I was talking to my friend, I was actually up till 1 o'clock yesterday morning still talking. And I thought I'm not gonna get some good sleep, but I did actually. I had a really good night's sleep. So I don't want to make this a really long video, so I'm going to try to cut to the chase now. So this morning I've done an awful lot of channeling questions that were coming up about things that I've been observant of happening in the outside world, blah, blah, blah. And I ended up with all of this information. But one of the things that the little bit that I'm going to give you, and I'm going to read it because I think it's so relevant to all of us as we're doing this clearing, just exactly what's happening. So this is what I was given. Resistance is like an elastic band. When you resist, in brackets, you pull back to prevent moving forward. But the pressure of pulling back, just as an elastic band will do, is ultimately where you feel stuck from your human perspective. When you allow yourself to understand that the pressure is temporary, because everything is energetic, eventually it must propel itself forward. There is a space within that pulling back called the hold. In this place is where you will find serenity. You can hold yourself there for as long as your soul wants to. This is your preparation for your next level of conscious expansion. This is what you would call the precipice of a new dawn. I'm not going to say anything else about that. I'm just going to leave this video as it is and give you that's food for thought. Sending you lots of love today, and bye for now.